Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mayday stash busting event. Let me get rid of this table, this glass table. We don't need that. We're not going to need that for what we're doing today. I'm so excited to be with you. I'm Grace from the Comfy Nest with Grace, kicking off this amazing event. It is a stash busting event that is being hosted by My Artful Adventures. That is our friend Christy Sloan over there at My Artful Adventures, and we're going to be finding everybody today inside the Crafty Bunch venue for Mayday stash busting ideas. So if you got a lot of stuff on hand and you want help getting rid of it, where your clan? Where your clan today? Look what I got. Check this out, girls. These are the envelopes that I save. I save these envelopes because I love to recycle things and make them new. And I've made this journal once before, and you guys loved it. And somebody asked me, how did you do it? So I'm going to show you today how we do it. How do we do it? I'm going to show you today. Welcome. Thanks for being here. This event is happening all day long. Let me just see. I thought I would find quick the event schedule. I'm not going to share it with you, but I'm going to open it up so I can see. We go until like 7 o'clock tonight. I'm the first one kicking it off, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 other creatives after me. So it's happening all day, every 45 minutes. In the Crafty Bunch venue, you'll find a new creative going live. And so that you don't have to worry about keeping track of how long has this person been on, when does the next person go live. If you watch from within the group, all you have to do is refresh your screen and you'll find us very easily. You won't have to hop from page to page. So that's what we're doing today. I'm going to actually back you up a little more because I can see that you are a little bit tight to screen. Hey, Julie. Hey, Jeannie's Palette. Thanks for being here. Lisa. Thank you, my friend Christy. She says you are in, meaning she has shared me into the Crafty Bunch venue, which is fantastic. Thank you for doing that, my friend. All you're going to need for this, and the supply list can be very loose, meaning use what you got, okay? Does anybody else collect these envelopes? My goodness, they're so fun to play with and to create with. Let me show you, if you don't know the book that I've made with these, let me show it to you so you can see what the end result we're looking for is going to be. This is the book that I've made with these envelopes, so it's a tall and skinny. I'm just going to do a really quick flip through. See the windows? These are window envelopes. Most of them have these big windows that you can play with, and you're going to see them highlighted throughout the book. You'll see how I've used them throughout the book. Not all of them have a window. Some of them have a pocket. You see some envelopes are small, and some of them are big. You can use them all. I covered that one with the magazine page. This one I made into a pocket with the window. So you see, we are going to recycle these into a book. I'm just going to quick flip to the end. That's what the end looks like. Okay, and you guys were wondering, how did you do it, Grace? How did you do it? So let me show you. Let me show you. Hey, Joanne, how are you? Hey, my friend Michelle from Michelle Bell's Creations. Listen, you guys, if you see some of my creative friends here from their pages and you see that little blue follow, the word follow in blue after that means you're not following them. And I know that they would just love to meet you and to get to know you. So please give them a follow, give them a like so that you can get to know them a bit. Meet new creatives and find new ways of using your stash and creating. Okay, this is going to be the inside of my book. Those are going to be my book pages, the signature. These are going to be my book cover. And all I did, this will be the front cover, this will be the back cover. Okay, all I did was take brown packing paper, like I have here. And I decided on this one for the cover, I'm going to use some coffee stained paper. And I'm going to sandwich these together to make the front cover. I'm going to sandwich these together to make the back cover. And then these will all become the inside. Okay, so we have to do them separately though. We have to make them separately. So let me show you the basics. You're going to use washi tape. How many of you have a few rolls of washi tape? A few rolls? How much washi tape you got? Can you venture to guess? You probably could use a glue stick. Is really easy to use with the washi tape. You could use a liquid glue, but the gel glues like a glue stick is so much easier. And then your envelopes. Okay, that's all you need. It would be helpful if you had a letter opener to open your envelopes up like I did here. All I did was take that envelope and run this along the edges to open that up. So I keep this handy just in case I want to open some up. And you'll see, you could use paper, strips of paper instead of washi tape. You could use strips of fabric in place of washi tape for what I'm going to use it for, to connect all of these. But like I said, you use what you got, and let's have some fun creating. Use your imagination, and let's have some fun. Rusty says, I'm picking up my grandson from his finals today. Go, go, Grandma. That's so good. That's good. You're bringing him for an ice cream or something fun. Hey, Debbie. Diana, good afternoon. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you all so much. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. One envelope can equal one signature page or two. In this instance, for this one, because I opened it up, it's going to be 2 pages. Here's 1 page and there's 2 pages. Okay, and I'm actually going to make this the outside cover for the entire signature. So that's going to be a 2-pager. This one can make 2 more pages, but I don't think I want these back to back. So I'm going to flip this one so that I have a window down here. I don't know if I'm going to use the window yet, but that gives me the option to have a window down here and a window up there. So I'm going to use those. This one, what did I decide on this one? I'm going to keep it closed and use it this way, and attach it here. Okay. So that'll be not just 1 page, right? That can only be 1 page if it's not open. So right now I have, with 3 envelopes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. Do you see? So your envelope, if you keep it in its entirety, you could make a pocket out of it, or like a little tuck spot or a stash spot, or you just close the entire thing up and just use it as 1 page. Or if you open it all the way up, you get 2 pages out of it. Okay, so we're going to start building this. I'm not going to glue these 2 together because they're going to get sewn like you would traditionally sew. We're going to poke some holes in this and sew it into our cover. So I don't need to connect these to each other. I'm just going to keep them there. So that's kind of like my place marker. Now these 2 though, I'm going to have to connect these to each other somehow, right? If I'm not going to have it open where I can sew it in. So that's where the washi tape is going to come in. I'm going to place these together like this. And then I'm going to put a piece of washi tape here to hold it together. So I'm in fact going to do this. I'm going to put a whole bunch of washi tape on this junction right here on both the left and the right. I'm going to line this up again because I messed up my lining up. My lining up got messed up. So let's line it up again. And it, you know me, girls, doesn't have to be perfect as far as I'm concerned. Then I just need a piece of washi tape to go down and hold those 2 together. Okay, so the tape is reinforcement for the washi tape, which you know is, it's got like a temporary hold. It's not a permanent tape. So you want to use a permanent glue on there to hold those together. Okay, so now this belongs here. And now I can keep going on and keep adding to this. Now these are not connected yet, but let's connect them. Let's take these 2. So what I like to do is I like to crease this one and push this in to make sure I have good connection there. I'm going to add some glue here, and I'm going to use the same washi tape. Hey, if you have, I would say if you have a washi tape you don't like, use the one you like the least. I'll look at, or your oldest one here, because you're going to be using the glue to fortify it, number 1. And number 2, you likely will not see this washi tape in the end. It might peek out, but what it looks like isn't really that important. So if you have a washi tape that came in a set and you're really not a fan of it, like say you're not a big fan of stripes and it's a striped washi tape, or you don't like yellow and it's a yellow washi tape, well, this is a good place to use it up. So I'm going to pull this about, doesn't have to be exact, about the same size. And we're going to put that down on that sticky permanent glue. to hold these together. Look, I'm not even straight, girls. I'm not even straight, and it's all going to be fine. I'm going to reinforce that crease. Now you can see this is coming together, right? We already have all of this. There's some glue sitting there. We already have all of this together. My signature is already coming together. It's coming together. All right, let's take this. Oh, I have this little one opened up. So I could put this here. I have a little glue there, so I might as well put something here, right? So I could put this here. And what I'll do is I'm going to put tape here to hold it together. You see how this is going to come together? Oh, it's such a good way to use up washi tape and envelopes. And if you love to, I love to collect them anyway. So for me, I was looking for a really creative way to use a whole lot of them at the same time. Hey, Capri, how are you? Hey, Callie. Good morning, Terry. Debbie Chandler says, washi tape, question mark? I have a lot. And Christy from Meyerfield Adventures, she's saying, I don't really have as much as most people. It's embarrassing. Michelle, have you ever made a book like this before? Have you ever used your envelopes and your washi tape to hold together your signature? Oh my gosh, it can be so fun and creative. And I mean, I'm giving you the main ideas of how I did it, but I'm sure because you girls are so smart and creative, you're probably going to come up with some more ways to hold these books together using washi tape in your envelopes, or different combinations of how to piece these envelopes together. Then it can be so fun. It can be such a fun way to put together a book. Okay, this is sticky in here too. I got me some sticky right there. Now, if I wanted to use this window envelope, you know, there are several ways that you can do this. And let me show you something here in this original book. Let me show you one of the ways that I used one of those windows to make a pocket. Here, right here, this is this is a smaller envelope. See that there? It's a smaller envelope. And what I did was I glued this large piece of ledger paper here. And when I glued it, I only glued here and here so that I could make that a pocket. Okay, so the back of this pocket isn't even an envelope. It's a piece of ledger paper, which made this really cool look inside the window there. So leaving a window to exist on its own like that, here's what I did as an example. If I took a piece of ledger paper, like say this ledger paper, what I did was I just glued the ledger paper down like this, glue and folded it so that I had this back as my the back of my ledger paper to decorate it. I mean, you can come up with a gazillion different ways to create and decorate these pages, and that can be the really fun part. But what I like to do is get the base done, get the base created. See here, we have these lining up here, and I've been using washi tape, but honestly, ladies, let me just introduce the fabric to you. You could take your strips of fabric. It doesn't have to be washi tape. What if we took a strip of fabric and glued that down like I would the washi tape to keep that in place? It likely will get covered with something else. So I would go with a piece that's at least like 1.5 inches wide. So you have a good amount of tape on either side. It can be fabric, it can be strips of paper, it can be anything really, but it's going to hold it. It's going to help hold it together for you. So let's rip this apart there. And then this can become my tape. Doesn't always have to be washi tape. Like if you're like Christine, you say, hey, I actually don't have a lot of washi tape. Hardy har har. You can use your fabrics. I'm going to grab a fabric glue then, if you don't mind. Just give me a second to glue that down. What kinds of items, you guys, if you don't mind telling us, because I think some of the other creatives who are creating today are here in the comments. And my guess is they would love to know, what are you looking for Like, what stash do you have that you're looking for ideas on how to use it up? What do you have that you're like, girl, if you can help me figure out how to use blank, I'd be forever grateful. What is it? Fill in the blank. You have like a gazillion paper clips that you want to get rid of. Is it papers? Is it crayons? Is it markers? Is it, you know, it doesn't have to be a surface, right? It can be, you know, I have a gazillion watercolors, pans of watercolors, and I just don't know what to do with them. Or I have 5 million bottles of paint and I need to find a way to use that up quick. Like, you know, what is it that's in your stash that you would love some help with stash busting? Okay, I'm going to use this fabric in place of the washi tape. It's going to do the same job. It's just different material. So I'm using my washi tape today, but I wanted to show you, you do the same thing with paper or fabric. You could do it with packing paper. I'm a huge fan of packing paper. I use it all the time. This is packing paper. I use it all the time. There's probably packing paper. Yep, that's all packing paper. So when I buy a package from Amazon, say, and it's wrapped and it's got all that crushed up brown paper in it, I save it, I unravel it, I fold it back up, and I put it in my craft room or in my office so that I can use it some other way. Now I have this like kind of a big gap right there. And I feel like that needs to be reinforced a little. So I could just put a piece of washi tape, but I'm not going to do it by itself. We're going to add this to it as well. So I think I'll add this in here like this. And I'll leave the flap here just in case I want to use it. But I want to go high. Do we want to go low? Let's go high with this one. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a piece of something right here to hold these two together. And let's just use the washi tape because that's what I like to use. Chrissy says, yes, friends, please tell us. Everyone can show things on their lives, or we could do another use it up type event. Scrapbook paper and stickers. Oh, Debbie says she has a lot of stickers. Oh, girl, I feel that. I have stickers. I have books of stickers. I have books and books of stickers. This tape is getting old. It's getting dry. So when it starts sticking to itself like this, and you have a hard time unraveling it, girl, it means find a way to use it up. Because if you don't, it's going to go so dry that you're not going to be able to use it. I only need to go up to this envelope. I mean, you can go all the way, but then it's going to hold it down. You're not going to be open and close that page. So I only need this to go the length of the shorter envelope. So if you thought when I unraveled it, you probably thought, oh, you're a little short there, Grace. It's on purpose. Because if I go beyond this point where this envelope is, I'm not going to be able to open and close this page. This being the page here, okay? So now it's likely all of this is going to get covered up. What I mean is this one we can see, and actually I think I added this on top as decorative. But there are going to be pages like here. This is all one piece of paper. And it's covering up that center. So if there's something in the center there, it likely is going to get covered up. See, this is one big piece of ledger paper that covered up the center. So whatever is behind there holding the pages together, you're not even going to see it. Okay. Oh, this one I had opened up, so I actually get this. If I want to close it, I sure can. I just have to glue it back together. All right, let's see how many pages we have in this signature. 1, 2. Whoop, this got stuck together. Be careful. I gotta give it time to dry. 2. It's sticky down here, so I'm just gonna actually put another little piece of tape so it stops sticking to itself. And just cut off the excess. Okay, so we have 1 page, 2 pages, 3. And this, it can become an envelope of some sort. 4, 5, oops, sticking to itself. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pages. That's a pretty good number. And it's, you know, it's not even decorated and it's pretty hefty. So I think I'll leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at 11 pages. I'm going to leave this open for a minute and I'm going to set it aside, and I'm going to work on this cover. Okay, so that can dry, and then we'll go back and forth. I'm going to do as much as I can today. You're going to see how this comes together. And if there's more time needed, I'll probably work on this again on Friday on my YouTube. I always go live on YouTube at 11 a.m. on Fridays. So I'll probably do it then. If you're not following over at YouTube, I'd love for you to. Debbie Fritz, you're the bomb.com girl. She said she's spreading the grace. Thank you, my darling. Thank you for sharing this out there. All right, so Debbie is the only one with extra stash. Oh, no, Gia. Oh, no, hold on. I got to go back, girls. Debbie said she has extra scrapbook paper and stickers she needs to use up. Hey, Vicky Champion. Gia says, I have old scrapbook paper. I have so much old scrapbook paper that it needs to be used. Oh, girl, we got to find ways to use this stuff. Reader's Digest books. Cheryl, what are you doing with them? Did you order them originally to read them? Or did you inherit somebody's collection? How many do you think you have? I'm so curious about that. Not a lot. It's a relative term. I get you, Christy. Oh my gosh. Gia says, I love the ideas to use washi tape. Girl, I got you. Shell says, I've used washi tape in books, but I haven't used that many envelopes in one book. I want to try it. The whole book is made out of envelopes. Michelle, the whole darn book. Okay, this one we'll go back to. That's my front cover. Here's my back cover. I'm not going to use this. I'm not going to use that. Doesn't matter to me. I just want these three things tacked together so that it's going to create a nice thick back cover. And I'm doing this one a little different than that first one. The first one I used all packing tape, but I have this really pretty decorative, whatchamacallit? What's this called? Coffee stained paper. I can't think of my words today. So I'm going to use it. Now I cut the coffee stained paper just slightly bigger than my envelope. I mean, like literally a sliver bigger. It's really hard to see even. Just so that it looks like that from the back. That's the outside cover of the book. I do like seeing the layers though. See this? How I can see my layers? I do love seeing that, and I love that it has some movement to it. Okay, here we go. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to just tack these together. And then what I did to make these feel a little more substantial even, once I have these parts all tacked down, is I ran it through my machine. I need to pull it down just a tish. It's a little high. I ran this through my machine and just put an outside stitch in blue. On this one, I did an outside stitch in blue all the way around the edges to hold everything together. Okay, it gives it some real thickness. It's got some heft to it, which is really nice. So there's my back cover, pretty much done. Lovely. Here's my front cover, and for the front cover, here's what I did to get that little sweet little girl there. I took a book page. It doesn't matter which book page. I mean, see how different the colors on these look? The fonts are even a little different. So pick a book page that you like. It could be music paper. It could be decorative scrapbook paper. It doesn't even have to be a book page. I just really like the look of the book page. And I took this and I layered it in here so that I could see book page through the window. So I'm going to do that. It's a little bit long, so I'm actually just going to sliver off because it's peeking out just a little bit, and I don't need that extra right there. So I'm going to take that out. Before I glue this all down, this will go here. I can definitely glue this to the back. So let's do this while I have my glue going, and look at what happened here. This came out or off, and I'm just going to reinforce this, glue it back down because I need that to stay together. And then let's get that brown paper on the back. It can be so fun working with these window envelopes because you just, the options are as far as your imagination will take you in terms of what you do with it. Okay, let's see. Hold on, it's not quite straight, and I ripped it, but that's okay. It's all crinkly and wrinkly. I love it that way, of course. There's the back of the front cover. This will become the front cover. But I've got to create this little window envelope. And I stuck a girl back there. Like, I thought she's so cute. And she's behind the cellophane. So like I have these two little cuties sitting here. So if I wanted them on my cover, then I would need my hole to be right there, right? So these girls are chipboard, so I don't necessarily want those girls. Sorry, girls, you're darling. I actually just keep them here because they're so stinking cute. So I have them like right here on my table. Let me grab my Tim Holtz, like all the Tim Holtz peoples, and we'll find a different Tim Holtz people to put in there. Karen says, now I can try this. You save your envelopes, Karen. How else are you using your envelopes? I'm showing you a really fun way to use a bunch of them today. It's a great way to make books. All right, I got these Tim Holtz peoples. I got these peoples. I have so many. I like the ones that are fussy cut out as opposed to the square ones. So let's see if we can find, oh, I think these are groups. So I don't think this is going to work because they're going to be, I mean, they would fit there, but I think I don't need groups. I need singles. Hold on. We're looking, girls. We're looking for some fussy cut singles. And I want them the right size. I don't want the minis. I like the ladies with their dresses. Oh, she's fabulous. Her arm seems to be sitting on something. And let's see if we can just find somebody. I don't know. I prefer the ladies just because their dresses are so pretty. What is she doing? Nope, not her. We could do a man. Oh, look at her with her fancy gloves on. Can we get her in there? Get in there, lady. Little lady. All right, so if I put her here, she's adorable, right? The window, the window is actually big enough. I could have a couple of people back there or a wider photo. Oh, they're too wide, probably. I mean, I don't need to spend a ton of time on this, but I just wanted to show you how I created this cover. Oh my gosh, she's so pretty. Her dress, I can't even with your dress, darling girl. It's so pretty. I talk to my peoples as I'm working with them. Look at this little fantastic. Wait a minute. I've used her a few times over the years, and because you know you can get a big one and a small one. Oh my goodness, I don't want to lose her feet though. She's on her toes. She's on her tippy toes because of her toe shoes. No, because I just don't want to, I don't want to mess her up. All right, let's just go with this lady. We're going to go tall and skinny like the other one. So all I do is I'm going to glue this down in here so that it doesn't budge on me while I'm creating. It doesn't have to be like completely perfect. It's all going to get sewn together in the end. But I'm going to glue that paper down so it doesn't budge on me. You can color it if you want to. Like if you wanted to put some watercolor on there or, you know, a wash of paint on it, you could. And then I'm going to glue her down just where I want her. It says London Transports above her head. That's hilarious to me. Let's get her glued down. And then we'll build our window around where she is. Okay. It can be really fun to incorporate these windows into your creations. You're going to lose her feet too, but it's okay. All right, she's going to sit there. This is all going to get glued down. So she's going to be completely sealed in there. Well, not glued down. I'm going to sew all the way around the edge of it. But right now, my bigger issue is creating this window right here where she exists. So what I'm going to do, like I can kind of feel where she starts and where she ends. So I'm going to take a pencil mark and I'm going to say my window, this is my front cover. Before I put the front cover down, or you could do it this way, you could like say, okay, she has to go from here to here. I usually feel like here's the top of her hat and here's about where she ends. So I would need a hole that's long enough there And then in terms of wide, here's her arm, so it needs to go to here. Here's her other arm, so it needs to go to there. I need a hole that is that big, okay? And what I'll do is I'll just take like a knife or something, a scissor, a tiny scissor or a knife or something, and just get myself a little slit right here. And I like the torn look, so this is what I'm going for. I want to tear around her. I mean, you could cut it. You could use a hole punch if you have one big enough. But I kind of like the torn look, so I'm going to go around within that parameter, try, and create this hole on the front of my cover. And I go usually a little bit less than what I'm supposed to have, and then if I have to make it bigger, I will. See, I can still see my 3 pencil marks, but this gives me a good test. Funny, all right, let's keep tearing away at that. If it helps you, I could take my water brush and put a line of water around there on that paper to help it rip. Let's see, I haven't looked at comments here for a minute. All kinds of stuff. I don't know how to make it go together. Tracy, for what? What kind of stash don't you know how to make to go together? Hey, thanks for saying it's beautiful, Tammy. I appreciate you. Rusty says, if you name it, I probably have too much of it. Cheryl wants to keep all her Reader's Digest books intact. Girl, awesome. I buy them for cheap outside. They are so beautiful. I can't leave them behind. I understand that. I love to give them new life. Carol says, I have a lot of leftover printables not used in a journal. How to organize them, please. Don't organize them, Carol. Use them. Use them. Use them, use them. I have a ton of them too, and I do like to use them in my journal pages. And actually, this is a good project for using those up. I'm going to wet the outside line just to make it easier for me to tear, just like you would with a napkin. This is coffee stained printer paper. But once you wet that, it is just going to make it easier for you to tear in a controlled way. So I'm going to tear a little more away, and I'm going to check it again. And if I have to, I'll tear even more away. But I like to kind of do it a little bit at a time, because I like to be kind of controlled about it. She's tall and skinny. See, I think I am going to make her this a little bit so it's not so oval like that. I'm going to make it, I just need a little more water, a little bit wider on the sides. So girl has a little room to move her elbows. She's just stuck in that little tiny hole. Every time I wet this paper, I coffee stained it. It smells like coffee, which to me is glorious because I love me some coffee. My mother-in-law was here for graduation, and a couple of times, she kind of sleeps in, so closer to noon, or if it was noon and I'd say to her, do you want a coffee? I'd make her an iced coffee. So it's kind of the season where I like to make iced coffees. I don't make them a whole lot in the winter, but I had bought some creamer for Gannon's graduation party. And I said, well, I have some sweet. All right, now I'm getting into this. I can see this little corner. Do you see right there? And I'm not loving that. So let me see if I can tear this little corner away. Yes, I can. I don't want to see that. So that I've reached my limit for how far down I can go here. I'm going to tear this off. This is why I like to do it slowly and keep testing it. Okay, so I'm going to take just a little bit more off right there. I have plenty of room right there to widen that a little so it's more, it matches that side a little more. And then I'm going to leave the length top to bottom the same. Maybe we should take a little bit off around her hat so I can see that London Transports title. Up here. So again, I like to wet it. I just think it does help me control that tear. Oh, much better. That's much better. I get a little water on her window there. Now, do I want this to be seen, the London Transports? Let's go a little high. This is a little, it's just a little slow, this process. If you're not as tentative as I am, it probably won't take you as long, but I don't mind it because I really have fun with it. I did not, on that first book that I made, I didn't even distress the edges of this. I just left it plain, but you can come in and distress this whole darn thing, but I didn't. I just left it. What do you think? Is that good? I like it. I think it needs to go a little further down to the left. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. Now I'm not gonna, I didn't do it here and I don't plan on doing it there. I'm just gonna leave it open. I'm not going to distress that or ink that, but you totally can. Like I always say, you do you, girl. You do whatever makes you happy, friend. I want you to be happy. All right, that's gonna be my front cover. So that's how I put that together. I do use the envelope in the sense that I stuff my little lady in there, or person, and then I'm going to put the glue on the back of this paper so I don't overdo it, but I am going to get real close here to make sure I got that nice and secured in place, and then all around my edges. Now this will go through my sewing machine. If you don't have a sewing machine, you don't have to, I mean, you can skip that step. It's not a big deal. I just like to run it through the sewing machine to cinch it all together. So this will be my front cover for my envelope junk journal. So let's get this down and in place. I got glue on my fingers. All right, there's my front cover for this book. I love when the pages are a little wonky and they're not exactly straight. That makes me so happy. Don't need any more book pages yet, so I'm going to put those aside. But whoever it was that said that she needs to use up all her printables. Who was that? Let me look back. Oh, I think it was Carol. I ordered the Sugar Bell bottles last night. My wrist is killing me from squeezing the other bottles. I was thinking about buying the Nuvo gel press. Does anyone glue press? I do have that glue press. I'm not a huge fan of it. This thing. You talk about this thing, Cheryl? I do have it. It doesn't fit in its stand real well on my desk. It doesn't stay real well in the stand. So I either like put it down like that or like that on the table. The press part works easily enough. I didn't have mine open and started using it for a day, and this cover broke on my bottle. This takes forever to get it out. Okay, I have 2 of these bottles. I'll just tell you real quick. You know, this is just my experience. So here's my other bottle. It came with 2 bottles, and I put art glitter glue in this one. I used it for a day, and the cover broke. The art glitter glue tore the pin out of this, and there's supposed to be this like this long metal tube to get the glue to come out at a fine tip. It pulled it off of here and it got stuck on there, so I cannot get that off of there. So I can still use the bottle, but it broke the tip of the bottle, and I contacted them immediately. I mean, I hadn't even had it open 24 hours, but they would not replace it. They said, go buy another bottle. So I don't know. I don't use it all the time because I feel like it's cumbersome. Oh, see, I'm trying to put that cover back on. I find that covers to be very cumbersome, but you know, the Nuvo glue is amazing. I do actually really like the Nuvo glue. For what you pay for it, you know, would I buy it again? I would say no, but you know, some people have it and love it. And if you're here and you love it, tell her why in the comments, because I'm just one review. You know, they didn't stand by the bottle. I was kind of bummed about that, but what do you do? I've been saving a little girl for the perfect project. Oh, that's fun. Let's see. I gotta try to catch up with these comments. Donna says, I'm always looking for new ideas for these envelopes. Well, yay. Hi, Janet. She said, I just got home. Okay, so here's my front cover. This will be my back cover. So this is the front cover of my book. This is the back cover of my book. I hope that has had time to dry. So you use fabric or you can use your washi tapes. This will be my signature of the book. Okay, so was it Carol that said she has so many printables? Let me go back and see if I can find it. I think it was Carol that said I have so many printables. Yeah, Carol Edison. So Carol, for decorating all these pages, this is a great way to use up some of those leftover printables or pieces, large pieces of paper, like here. That was a scrap, and I just used it to cover up that envelope. This is a great way to use them, to use up those printables, those leftovers, to cover up, because you're going to cover up those envelopes completely. You see, as I'm going through here, you can't see those envelopes at all. They're completely covered up. Okay, so this is a really good way to use them up in one of these books. Okay, all right, so now I would go through the process. I'm going to save this to last, how to connect my front and back cover to my signature. I'll save that for last. I can't do it until I get this pretty much decorated. So then what I would do is put my front and back cover aside and start decorating all of these pages and deciding, do I want to create any more window features in the book and where? And do I want to create any pockets? Do I want to keep the pockets for tucking things in, or do I want to get rid of the pockets? This is when you start doing all that. Okay. Let's see. I have to check comments. I want to see what everybody's saying. Yeah, Cheryl, I don't know. I think, isn't it over $30 for the, I can't remember. Julie has never seen it before. I think for the price, for me personally, I wouldn't buy it again. But, you know, there are some people who love it. You know, one of the girls who's in my craft club is the one who showed it to me, and I saw hers and I thought, man, that looks awesome. I ordered it right away. She loves hers, but I just didn't have the same experience. So you're here for a happy mail reveal. Well, Terry, I'm taking part. This is an event. This is the May Day Stash Buster event. So I'm here to do the event right now. I'm not going to be opening any happy mail, but I do have your happy mail to open, and I will be opening it. I just have, it's going to be today. I have 5 more minutes left, 4 more minutes now for this event. So let me show you. Let's just do a page maybe. Let's get a page decorated in here. I have stashes and stashes of papers that are like, you know, coffee stained, bits of coffee stained paper, like there's one and there's one. You probably have doilies and tea. If you're like me, you have doilies and tea bags and all kinds of scraps of paper. Let me roll and get my, this whole thing is just like little scraps of paper that are sitting around looking for a home. So this is when I start using this, not the little ones. I would look for the big ones. Like this is painted paper. That, you know, it's paper that I painted. This is scrapbook paper. That's a printable leftover, and I put rings on the back of it because I thought it was cool with metallic crayons. So here's where I would start taking some of these scraps and decorating this. Like here, this is a nice big piece. I could glue this down on here. And if I wanted to, that would make a really pretty back. So actually, if I go up here and glue this down, that could make a really pretty back to that. And I could make that an envelope, actually. So let's do it. I'll cover the bottom with something else, but let's make this the opening act to this signature. So I'm going to line up the tops. I'm going to crease it here. That's where the fold is. So that tells me where to fold it. Right there. I'm going to glue this side down entirely. Okay, so I just start covering everything up. That's how I look at this. So actually, let me put the glue on this piece of paper instead of on the envelope. I want to get as close to those edges, right over those edges if I can. Okay, and I'm going to fold this over and gently get this to lay out nicely on that side. So there I've covered that edge. I'm fine with that because I'm going to be covering all of this as well. Okay, so that doesn't, the fact that that's all wonky right there doesn't matter to me at all. Now on this side, if I want to retain this, you don't have to retain this as a pocket. It can just be a pretty window. But I could make it into a pocket by gluing here and here, right? So I could take, I'm not going to glue there because I want that to be open, but if I took this and I went here, and I went here, and then to the edge of my paper, now I can glue this down. I'm going to start pressing right here at the crease to make sure that lays down really nicely. And then press the top and press the bottom. Now I have a very pretty, everything's really flat, but I have a really pretty envelope there that I could stuff an ATC card or a tag or a journaling card or anything, a picture of your kid, anything that you want, you could stuff in there. Now here, we'll cover it with something else. Like I do like this. This is metallic gold crayons, and I do kind of like that, but either one of these would look just fine on here. I try not to overthink it too much. I look at it, I love that, and I don't want to lose it, but at the same token, I really like that side. So I could just glue that down there and not worry too much about it. I'm going to cut it to size. And actually, I'm going to glue it down and then I'll cut it to size. I have to make sure it goes over the edge of my doily coffee stained paper. Okay, guys, I'm going to keep working on this likely on Friday on my YouTube channel. So if you want to come join me, I will try to piece together the front cover on YouTube on Friday. But today is all about the stash busting event. I'm just one of many creatives who is sharing with you today. And I had the, oh, that's kind of crooked. I had the idea to create with my envelopes and washi tape. It's a really good start to creating this journal. But you're going to see lots of ideas shared today in the Crafty Bunch venue. So somebody else is going on live right now inside the Crafty Bunch venue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang it up. I'm going to thank you so much for your time, for sharing this out there, for being good company with me today while I'm creating this journal. And what we're going to do is we're all going to head on over to the Crafty Bunch venue and meet up with the next creative. Please give her some hearts and some chickens in the comments to let her know that you're joining her from my live and as part of the May Day, the stash busting event. All right, girls, have a beautiful, blessed day. Thanks for being here with me, everybody. I love y'all.